Yo, what's going on, everybody? How's it going? Today, um, we got a little bit of Asmongold going on. He's gonna tell us about why Overwatch 2 is the worst rated game of all time on Steam. I'm sure most of you've already heard about it, but we're gonna hear from him.
Thirds of the Overwatch 2 Steam reviews came from China. Look at this. Here's something that no English language outlet has caught on to.
I didn't know that. 2/3 of reviews were from China.
Overwatch 2 currently has 100,000 reviews on Steam since launching 3 days ago, of which
So, are a lot of them bots or what? Is that what's going on?
91% are negative. However, 2/3 of those reviews, 63K, are written in Chinese, I don't know what that is, but with 97% of them being negative. Alignment with initial audience. On the surface, Chinese reviews mention a lot of the same elements as reviews from the rest of the world. The lack of promised PvE content,
So is it bots or what?
criticism over endgame content pricing, and perceived downgrades compared to Overwatch 1 are cited in all language reviews. Worst rated game of all time.
Yeah.
That's right. As noted in the tweet below, Overwatch 2 has become the worst user-rated game of all time on Steam in just a couple of days. Yep, Blizzard hasn't been on the top of a chart for a long time, but they've managed to do it again. It takes the record from War of Three Kingdoms, a card battle game from Chinese developer Yuka. I don't know what that is. I mean, probably it's War of Three Kingdoms is, I think, like a story.
I mean, yeah, it's the Chinese three empires go to battle. It's the Dynasty Warriors thing. The Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Yeah, true.
Historical story from like back in the day in China. So big surprise. I'm not going to know that. Some users that left negative reviews for Overwatch 2 have proceeded to leave positive reviews for War of Three Kingdoms in the past couple of days, citing their desire for Overwatch 2 to keep its lead. However, War of Three Kingdoms still has 89% negative reviews, so still not great. What did the reviews say? On a theoretical level, the Steam launch for Overwatch 2 does allow players in China to access the game again. This is because the international version of Steam is accessible in China without a VPN, and the game has a Chinese localization. However, the complaints are mostly...
Is that Southern Chinese? Is that what the S is? I don't know.
revolving around criticism of handling of Blizzard's game. A Blizzard.
So it's just actual Chinese players that are angry at the game that... Okay, usually it's bots if they're all sounding the same, but hey, if it's angry Chinese players, then they have a right to be. The game sucks donkey wiener.
Blizzard's handling of the game. True. Lack of a national server plus existing game account. I think anybody would be mad about that. Makes sense.
Yep.
Slow to log in plus poor online connection. I think
True.
that's also very fair. Like if you're in China, I'd be fucking pissed too. Criticism over shutdown national server and the impact on gaming communities. Because
oh, so they fucked over China directly because their servers are worse. And it's just slower. That's crazy. I mean, it is what it is, but that's crazy.
Remember, Blizzard stopped operations in China. I know World of Warcraft at least did. So, yeah, it's no surprise that this happened. Why are there so many reviews of China? Oh, here we go. Yeah, he's talking about it here. Most of you will be aware that Blizzard employees ended their agreement for the distribution of Blizzard PC games in China, leading to the shutdown of...
I didn't know this.
Overwatch 2 and other titles on January 23rd, 2023. Long story short, gamers in China have been upset about losing their accounts and ability to play on the national server with no announcement of a return so far.
I mean, that makes sense.
This launch on Steam is the first time that gamers can...
Just because the Chinese government is bad, and it doesn't mean that innocent civilians are, then they don't deserve to play games.
Event on an open and international
That's my
platform,
opinion.
with many taking the opportunity to do so. What did Chinese players want? We conducted a survey in March 2023 and looked at Blizzard PC games. World of Warcraft, Overwatch, most popular PC games. This whole image. Overwatch gamers were most likely to switch to a similar game publisher after the shutdown. Over 40% said that they were consider playing the game on a global server via VPN. 53% said they would start playing the game again if it relaunched in China with a national server. So that's not a surprise as well. So let's go ahead and do some math here. Okay. So how many reviews does Overwatch 1 have right now? 100. What you want to do? 100K? What do we want to go with? 110K. Okay. So 110K, and what's the negative ratio with that?
A lot. 90%. 91%
okay. So
negative.
If it's 91% and 97%, that means the differential is 6%. So that means that even in the West, you could assume that that differential would be it's about 85%. Like, because you think about it, right? I think that still means that if it's 91% positive, I could be doing this math wrong. I apologize if I am. So if it's 91% positive and 2/3 of them are negative, and then 2/3 of them from China, and then the China differential is 97%, that means the differential between the global review and the China review is 6%. And so if that remaining 1/3 is to make a difference of 6 points, then it would have to be at least double below the 91% differential number.
Oh, dude, his editors are so funny. I don't know why this fast forward made me laugh.
Which would mean there would have to be 12 points under 91, which would be 79. So 79% negative is really bad. Yeah, it's about 8%. Yeah, exactly 79%. Yeah, there you go. Stats. Yeah, that's the way the numbers work. Where the fuck we get that number from? So basically, because we know 2/3 are from there, we would have to multiply the difference, what do you call it, like 2 times. I think I'd have to like write it down. Like, I'm good at like visualizing shit like this in my head.
That's crazy.
Whenever we did school, I never showed my work on math problems. But like explaining it might be a little bit harder, simply separating the Chinese and NA players. Well, what I'm saying is that like how much of a difference here is it? Because like I don't want people to get the impression that the reason why Overwatch 2 was rated really badly was solely because of China. Because even in the most generous assumption of China rating it negatively, that still means that almost 80% of United States and non-China voters also gave it a negative.
Well, yeah. I mean, they fucked us over with no PvE content. That's what most people were waiting for. People were sick of the online PvP content. Overwatch 2 gets boring as hell.
Review. Even if it's 91% with 2/3 being Chinese at 97%. So like,
especially since they're calling it Overwatch 2 and it's just Overwatch 1. It's not even like better graphics. It's just the same game with like some new characters. It's crazy. How are you gonna tell me it's a new game and it ain't a new game? It ain't a new game. It's the same game.
In order for that to average out, you would still have NA people rating it down at a tremendous amount.
Yeah.
Like way over 75%.
Yeah.
Like 80 up to like 80%, I would say. These are fair reviews though. It's not like they aren't deserved. Well, here's the thing: is that let's say that they're not deserved. Let's say the Overwatch reviews are not deserved. Let's say 91% negative reviews aren't deserved. Is 80% deserved? What about 75? How about 70? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's still extremely bad. Like, even in the most, if you remove every Chinese negative review and not a single person from China gave it a negative review at all, you would still have people that were giving it a, that are giving it negative reviews at about a rate of 80%. That's extremely bad.
Yeah.
Even if you completely take this off. I seriously think Overwatch 2 is the biggest fuck up in gaming history.
I don't know about that. There's some pretty big fuck ups.
It's so hard to say. Because, like, you know, you have things like, I don't think Cyberpunk is the biggest fuck up.
No, Cyberpunk fixed itself.
And also Gollum, I don't think is the biggest.
Also, Cyberpunk on day one for me, I didn't even have a good PC, but I never had a single issue. I know people did, and it makes sense for them to be mad, but my game ran flawlessly. I didn't have an issue, and I thought the game was amazing. And then I seen all the bad reviews and was like, what happened? I got the like golden ticket.
Biggest fuck up either because nobody cared about that game to begin with. So it's like, how can it be that big of a fuck up if nobody cared about it? So, I don't know. Maybe Fallout 76 was worse. Atlas, yeah. Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
games like,
those were
yeah,
pretty
Duke
bad.
Nukem Forever, something like that. Literally buried the copies of ET game in the desert decades ago. Yeah, I remember I watched that video.
That's a pretty big fuck up.
Yeah. Let's see here. We're based in the Western players. Oh yeah, like oh shit. Oh yeah, Chinese players. Like I played with them. They're very I would say they're much more aggressive and much more direct than like Western players. And I actually always appreciated that. I like that a lot more. Reforged or Diablo Immortal. I don't think Diablo Immortal was that bad. Diablo Immortal was a pay-to-win phone game, and everybody went into that expecting it to be that, and then it was. Like, that's it. Is it a review bomb? Review bomb if all the complaints are valid? It seems like it's just a review. Well, I think that... Okay, so I don't like the term review bomb. I think protest review is a better term. Because protest review...
It's not a review bomb.
Doesn't necessarily mean that it's entirely wrong. It just means that people are giving it a negative review to things that are not necessarily attached to the game itself. Their review of the game is more or less a judgment on...
A review bomb would be like when everyone automatically just assumed that one movie, Sound of Freedom or whatever it was just an alt-right Nazi film or whatever they were calling it. I didn't see it, but I've seen reviews on it from people, and they're like, it's just a run-of-the-mill film. It, I don't know, and everyone was just angry because the actor has some bad takes. I mean, are you gonna judge art by the artist? I mean, that one artist cut off his ear, but people still like his art.
Blizzard as a whole,
Just saying.
rather than just, is this a good game or not? But at that point, does it really matter? It doesn't matter where the reviews came from or why they are, if it's addressing the scam that's Overwatch 2. They sold the game on a premise in a PvE mode, they scrapped it, and then they're making a clone minus one team of Overwatch 1. True. That being said, I'm not defending Blizzard here. No, I don't think anybody is. Like, it was unfortunate that we had all that drama about, the Overwatch 2 monetization, because it kind of brought... Like, the ultimate opinion that I have about Overwatch 2 is that I think them announcing that they're not going to do PvE content for Overwatch 2 killed the game.
It killed the game. That's all people wanted. They wanted to see that. They wanted to see their favorite game get a story mode where they could play with their favorite hero.
I think it killed the hype for the game.
You know?
It sucks, man. And I think it's sad. On Twitch, Overwatch 2 is...
Blizzard just doesn't give a fuck about anyone that's a fan of their properties. They only obey one master, and that's the almighty Benjamin.
doing good. Let's talk about that. Where is it?
That's why Baldur's Gate 3 is doing pretty good. They wanted money and to give a good thing to gamers, and they did.
Drops.
Yeah.
There's a lot of drops.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
Drops. Take away the drop.
That's the only reason it's getting views.
Drops, and you're gonna have a lot of people stop watching.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how it is.
Yeah. True.
What are you gonna compete? Nice to look forward to, but yeah, I know. It's just like it sucks because I played a lot at the beginning too.
I didn't.
But yeah.
I watched people play it, but I didn't.
Honestly
I didn't play it myself.
I can't believe that they just canceled the PvE content. It's nuts, man. Let's see here. Show me the real WoW killer. Oh God, yep. There we go.
Okay, guys, that was pretty good. Asmin usually does a good job covering this stuff. If you like it, give it a like. If you disliked it, dislike it. Subscribe for more content, and I'll see you next time. Also, I'm sorry for the bad audio quality. I tried to fix the mic up as best as I could. I'm recording with a webcam microphone. I'll be back to my regular setup soon. But see you later.